How to make epic thumbnails for your YouTube channel. Hey guys, Kerry Hawkins here with another Vectormade.com tutorial. Today I'm going to talk about how to make epic YouTube thumbnails. So let's jump right on in. First thing you're going to want to do, and this is in Photoshop, so if you're using something else, you can kind of take some of my guides here and apply those to another software, but I am a professional graphic designer, and so I use Photoshop because it's the industry standard. But here's my artboard size in pixels, 1280 by 720, 72 DPI resolution. That's all you need to know. Make it that size and you're good. The reason you want to make it larger is because every now and then these thumbnails are displayed at a little bit larger size, and it's better if YouTube compresses them downward rather than compressing them or expanding them upward. So a lot of the time they'll end up being very small, but just in case they're large, you want to make it that size. This area right here is like a 300 by 130 pixel section, give or take, where your timestamp goes that shows you how long the video is. I just recommend you leave any important stuff out of this area. And you'll even notice on some of my YouTube thumbnails that I haven't done that. So I don't always follow my rules. Here is kind of what they look like. This is just grabbing my most popular videos and showing you this is where the timestamp is, and see how it can kind of change size a little bit if it's 4 minutes versus 26 minutes. If you were going to do an hour, then that would be out here, but man, don't make anything that's an hour long. Please don't make anyone sit through that. I mean, 26 minutes is long enough. Of course, I do have 40K views on that one. Woot! But all right, back to this. For most of you, I think it's going to be important that you show a hero image with an emotional quality, like an extreme emotional quality. So extremely happy, extremely sad, excited, puzzled, or something like that. Something that gets people's interest and draws them in. Most graphic design, I really don't recommend to do that because it's just overkill. But for YouTube, for some reason, that seems to be a working practice. So we'll go with it. It's probably age demographics more than anything. So I went ahead and found an image. This is Saitama from One Punch Man, and I just thought this face was great. Super emotive. His eyes are bloodshot, and yeah, he's like punching through a guy. Anyway, what I would do if you put your image in here and somehow crop it out. If you're using Photoshop, you can do all sorts of stuff. I'll show you the magnetic lasso tool. And I'm going to go quickly through a lot of this stuff. I'm not going to walk you through exactly how I do everything, but I will make points of everything as I'm doing it, and hopefully it will be beneficial for all of you guys. But if you have questions about how I do exactly this or that, leave a comment down below and I will get to it. And I may even have a video that goes into greater detail about some of the things I'm doing. If I get to a point here with the magnetic lasso tool where I'm kind of at an intersection, I will click to create a node. It will create its own nodes for you. Most of these were created, but I will occasionally make my own. So that's what I was doing there. I'm going to grab the polygonal lasso tool and just kind of tidy up a little bit here. Just kind of adding and subtracting a little spot here and there. Let me grab that. And I double click whenever I want to close the selection. So if I'm here, I don't have to go all the way over to there. I can just double click and it will close it off for me. That's what I'm doing there. All right, now I'm going to hit Control Alt and R to go into this refine window and probably add 2 feather, 25 contrast, and 100 on the shift edge because I want a little bit of this edge out there. That looks good. Hit OK. I'm going to create a clipping mask like this. You can also cut it out if you want to. Control J would create a new layer, but I prefer this because if it's in a clipping mask, I can come in here with black and white and my brush tool, and I can add or take away from my clipping mask just by doing that. If I switch over to black, I'll show you what I mean. I could cut out his eyes or something if I wanted to, and maybe his mouth. Something like that. So anyway, there you go. The other thing I'm going to want to do is edit transform, flip horizontal, because I want to put text over here. A lot of the time they recommend not putting text on YouTube videos, but it just kind of depends. If your image is self-explanatory, then I think you don't need any text. Your title of your video will probably be text sufficient, but a lot of people that do Photoshop and Adobe tutorials put text in there, so I kind of follow suit, right? Do whatever's working in your section, your genre. If people that are doing well are adding text, go look at what they're doing and emulate it. That's my best recommendation. So another thing you want to do when you get your hero image in here, like whatever the main color is, maybe pick a really contrasty color for the background. This is yellow, a lot of yellow on his arm, so I'm probably going to choose something red. So I'm going to go place link, get this nice red background right here that's just kind of starbursty. So there it is. Boom, red in the background. And then I'm going to add my text. So for text, if you're going to add it, just use a thick, fat serif font. Gotham is very overused, but it's good. I highly recommend using it. I might even go Gotham Black. If I've got it in there, I do. There's my Gotham Black. I think I'll make that this color. All right. And maybe make it just a little bit bigger. Maybe like right here. Oops, I'm forgetting that it does that proportional scaling now. That throws me off every time. All right, and then maybe down here at the bottom we say thumbnails. There are a few options for things. You know, I could just keep this in Gotham Black as well, but let's just do something compressed. Let me try Babus. That is a free font that you can get. Just Google it. It's a great free font because it's just very versatile. Can work in a lot of places and it looks good. It's a very simple font, but yeah, maybe that. I think that looks pretty good. And maybe for this one, we just do white. You know? Epic thumbnails. And then I'm going to want to add the YouTube logo maybe. So people know that this is for YouTube videos. There's YouTube. And I went ahead and found the all white version of this. So, I did a lot of this work ahead of time, so I'm not wasting too much time with this video. Now, what you want to do with this sort of thing is, space this out in a way that looks good. And then what you'll probably need to do if you're going to add text like I am, as you can see, like if it's a smaller size, it's going to end up looking like this, when it's on your page. So it's going to be kind of small. It's harder to see the text perfectly. It might be a good idea to add an outline, maybe not. In this case, it's okay, but I'm going to add one anyway. So I just double clicked on that layer. I'm going to go over to stroke, add a stroke. Let's change the color to black and 10, 20. 20 is pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 15. Let's do 15. And then I could add that same thing to thumbnails. I could just click and drag this up to copy it. I'm actually holding Alt to copy this effect. So let me back up. If you hold Alt and click and drag an effect onto a new layer, you will copy those effects onto that next layer. So pretty sweet. The next thing I'm going to want to do is add a stroke around One Punch Man himself. Let's see though. I don't want to do black. It's too dark. I want to flip it and make it white. And I'm probably going to make it bigger. Maybe one more. 20, 30. Let's do 25. I like 25. We'll leave it right there. And that's pretty much it. I would do it just like that. Make sure that you remove your little box here if you've got a square that lets you know where that's going to be. But, for most purposes out there, most of the YouTube channels that you guys are doing, I think this is going to work out really well for you if you do some high contrast, high emotion, big, easy to read text if you're going to do it. Don't have too many words. I just have epic thumbnails. I'm not going to have how to make epic thumbnails using YouTube and Photoshop. I'll have that in my title probably and in my keywords and such. But for here, I'll just keep it simple. So, you know, and then when you're done, just export that out as a JPEG. You can save it as JPEG, boom, and call it whatever you need to call it. You know, One Punch Man YouTube, boom, and you're done. And then you get this little, yeah, that's it. Upload that to YouTube and you're going to be golden. So let me know what you think of that tutorial, if it was helpful to you guys or not. And go ahead and like, subscribe, share my video, do all that stuff if you're liking what you see. And I will see you guys in the next video.